Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why there's no such coaching program like my coaching program, and nobody spends as much time with and on their clients like I do. True story, 2 to 3 times per week. I get together with all of my clients via Zoom sessions or via a phone call. You have the choice between two packages. One is a standard package, 2 to 3 times per week, like I said, and the upgraded version of it, the deluxe one, is essentially 3 mandatory sessions per week. And in between, you have access to me via emails, texts, and audios if need be. So this is the most hand-holding I can possibly offer. This is for somebody who's going through a lot right now and who needs my guidance. You can start with this and maybe later downgrade to the standard package, but essentially I created this with people in mind who definitely need a lot of hand-holding. Okay, I want to remind everybody that I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching, first of all, but that also I no longer create deeply educational content for my channel, and I decided to create subscription-based audios that are essentially consisting of the material that I was going to originally publish as my book. Now, eventually I will publish this book, but I had a better idea of making the material into audios. Okay, so the subscription essentially consists of 15 audios per month, and each audio is 30 minutes long or longer. Okay, and it basically consists of all the material that was, again, going to go into my book, in-depth discussions on maneuvering energy, magic spells, specific person, specific people, money, holographic universe principles, etc., etc. Anything and everything that I really wanted to discuss. And within the audios, you then also receive information that I only share with people one-on-one in coaching, and you get some exercises, you get instructions. This is something I never recorded in this capacity for my channel and never will. And so right now this subscription is at $450, okay, per month. You would have to renew every month to continue getting the audios. And this is extremely underpriced for the amount of information that you're getting. This is entry-level coaching. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, because again, this amount of information in audios does not exist anywhere. I don't care what you say. So in order to be in any kind of coaching with me, including the audios, you need to sign the coaching agreement. You need to send it back to me, and you need to pre-book because I constantly get booked up every single day. If you need to first schedule an hour with me and then decide whether or not you want to proceed with the month-to-month coaching, that's totally fine. I can apply it towards your monthly fee. And the last thing I want to mention, there are other packages on my website. However, I just created a new package, Magic Spells Academy, which essentially consists of 4 sessions via Zoom or on the phone calls, explaining in detail how to create energy work around the desires that you have in your life. I recommend, if you haven't done any work on your beliefs, to start with that first. Otherwise, you will not achieve the results that you want. This is for somebody who already has done work on themselves. Okay, so it's 4 phone calls. The upgraded version of that is the Magician course, and that lasts a month. So basically 4 sessions versus the 12, because I've gotten this question over and over. Okay, so I continue answering questions from my mailbox, and this time around I'm going to answer a question which was yes, posed to me by different people throughout this experience with Traci, the copycat. And one of my clients asked me today, actually, um, do you think you manifested Traci, the copycat? And so of course I did. And I wanted to really be transparent on my channel, as I always am. I don't shy away from discussions at all. I wanted to explain, first of all, that yes, of course I manifested, but I don't think people understand why I manifested it. Okay. And I wanted to really kind of explain, because I think there's a difference in manifesting somebody like that in your personal life. That's one. And manifesting somebody in your work. Okay. So that would be one thing. I think I already recorded an audio about why do we manifest narcissists into our life. And I think, you will encounter a narcissist here and there. I think the idea is how you handle it. And I think also the misunderstanding is really that just because you manifest somebody like that, it's not really a reflection on who you are specifically. It's what you want, it's how you want to address things, okay, going forward with these kinds of people. I think this is extremely important for people to understand, because again, there's a lot of people out there. There are a lot of people who think that you're supposed to be a perfect person with a perfect, kind of like track record of manifesting, and no quote unquote bad manifestations are allowed. And so for me personally, okay, I play a totally different game at the stage of, my life, of my self-development. I welcome all experiences into my life to a certain extent. Okay, now I'm not going to create things that I definitely do not want to entertain. Okay, so there's a limit. But there's certain experiences that I'm definitely curious about. Okay, I'm definitely curious about the human psyche, which is why I coach people. I'm endlessly interested in psychology of people and why they do what they do. Okay, and ultimately, in my coaching specifically, I do not discriminate, okay, in terms of like who can come into my coaching, right? So the only intention that I really have is that I help people, okay? I help them level up. Now, if that translates into a narcissist coming into my coaching and trying to wreak havoc, that can very well happen. The way that I handle it is another story. Like, make no mistake, I already spoke about this on my channel, but in one of the audios, like how do you create narcissists? I had every understanding who she was at some point, like, for maybe like fourth or fifth session, okay? There are certain things that narcissists do or say, the way that they react, maybe even sooner than that, actually, that I already knew that this situation might transpire. Okay. Now, I didn't know to the extent to which she was going to go, right? But I had a feeling that this something is off over here. Okay. But I went along with it. And here's why. I could have very well not, right? There were several things, like I told in the story, part 1, part 2. And if you haven't seen this, go watch it. I tell the entire story of everything that happened, where I could have very well terminated her coaching earlier. Okay. I did not. I wanted to see the story play out. Okay. I'm really interested in research, like I say. So to me, the way I play this game is very different. Okay. I don't, again, discriminate experiences that I want to welcome and learn from. Okay, experience a certain kind of situation where I definitely walk away with information and having the belief, by the way, that everything serves me it inevitably does. Okay, it just inevitably does. When you have this understanding that everything serves you, even the shit show situation will serve you, of course. Okay, obviously, and of course, because look at, I'm gonna tell you a little story, and for those of you new subscribers or who are just listening and not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, because you're going to learn on this channel more than anywhere else. I created this channel purely out of wanting to spread information that I thought was pure and correct. Okay. I was not going to coach on YouTube. I was very happy with my practice outside YouTube. And so I solely created this channel because I wanted to help people. And around COVID, like I said, okay, I had this urge to create this channel and to start talking about things that may be helpful. Okay. So I at no point was I thinking, let me create this channel because I want to coach on YouTube, this and that. In fact, it took me like a little while to when people started asking me to coach them, it took me a little minute to decide to start coaching on YouTube because honestly, I didn't know what to expect. So it didn't come from this ambition of I don't know, becoming like this amazing YouTube coach or whatever. It simply started with this notion of I just want to spread information. And it almost, to be completely honest with you, and I already talked about this, was a sort of kind of like a little project from me. Okay, so I was just recording things that I really wanted to talk about. Okay, just in terms of kind of recording it, sending it out into the universe of YouTube, and really that was the extent of my thinking about it. So when people, really liked it and really wanted me to talk about, SPs and this and that, and that was their number one request overall, that's what I started to talk about. Okay. So in other words, for me, this situation, this very channel was just a project. It was a passion project. It still very much is, but I want you to understand that I did not have these ambitions of some people come to YouTube and it's like, I have to have a certain amount of subscribers. I have to have a certain amount of reach, ba 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 ba. This is a business and do ba do ba do. Now, of course, I charge for my, expertise. I charge for my coaching. And, in the beginning, I started charging very low amounts because I just wanted to kind of, feel this out, like what people are doing and help. And going into this, I knew that I would discount myself and essentially kind of honestly was operating from the mentality of, it's almost like public service, right? If you want to really get into my mind, that's what I was operating from. This is why I was charging so little in the beginning. And then eventually I was like, well, look at, I'm booked. I was started to be booked up as soon as I started coaching, back to back. And I was like, you know what, this doesn't make sense anymore to charge so little. So I, up the game. And I'm about to increase my fees some more. Because at some point I want to charge what I charge outside YouTube. Okay, at the very least, close to it. Nevertheless, this was just the passion project. And so when I started to record these audios about the SPs and this and that, this was a sneeze for me. Okay, no disrespect, okay, towards anybody. Okay, and I understand that, for you, this is important and SPs are important and all this kind of stuff. But you got to understand, I really did a lot of research before ever coming to YouTube. And I really coached a lot of people already up until that time when I came to YouTube. And I've met so many different people and coached so many different ways that talking about SPs was a piece of fucking cake for me. Okay, really, really was. And having specifically done this work in my own personal life, okay, having had that problem myself, I was like, no fucking problem. I'll talk about this till the cows fucking come home. I didn't even realize, again, I already spoke about this, that this was a thing on YouTube. This was a thing that people, all of them talk about. I just, was completely unaware. Okay. To me, it's way more interesting to talk about how the universe is constructed and the quantum field, etc., and the energy work than fucking SPs, because it's a sneeze. That's just my personal view. This is how I think of things. And there's, the story will make sense in just a second. So when somebody, don't worry, when somebody has this intention, and by the way, parenthesis here, I think Traci very much premeditated this shit. I think she came into my coaching with one kind of like agenda, and one agenda only, to get into coaching, to find out what it is that I do, and to completely mimic me and copy me, thinking she could get away from it, with it. Now, again, okay, this was a passion project for me. It's not that I didn't take it seriously. It isn't that. This is just like a very minuscule compared to what I actually have to offer in coaching. And those in coaching with me, they know that about me. Okay, I don't do just as piece. I address all areas of your life, and I have so much experience of my own in my own professional and my own personal life, that you get, quite frankly, like a jackpot with me. I mean, true story, right? I wish, I could travel back in past and offer myself the coaching that I offer to people today. Okay, I'm not even trying to brag. It's true story. Okay, I wish coaches like me existed back then when I was looking for a coach. Okay, and no amount of money would have stopped me, quite frankly. But anyway, I digress. It was just hilarious to me that somebody wanted to copy me, is the point. Because I could do this all day, every day. To me, this is a joke. Meaning, this is easy. Okay, this is something that I do effortlessly, naturally. Okay, and so in the beginning, I thought this was really a joke. Okay, kind of like, really? This is what you're going to do? Don't you understand how badly this will turn out for you? And then when I realized she was completely serious about copying me and lying about it, I thought to myself, wow, first I was taken aback and kind of like maybe a little bit upset. Not really upset, but kind of like, wow, you have got some nerve, kind of deal. And then I was like, you know what? Great. Let's play this game out and let's see what happens. Okay, really, let's see what happens. Because honestly, in helping people, you don't always help them by teaching them something, how to create money, how to attract SP. Sometimes the lesson is, don't fuck with me. Sometimes the lesson is, don't steal. Okay, don't lie. Sometimes the lesson is way more profound. And I can tell you this much. Okay, again, not trying to brag, but I had exes of mine come back and apologize to me, telling me, you were right. And you were my biggest lesson. It has happened to me more than once because I did not put up with their shit, not even a little bit. And so when you attract a certain situation, it's for a reason. Okay, I'm always up for learning, always up for upgrading my game. And so in this case, again, quite frankly, not even trying to brag, okay, or kind of like boost my ego or anything like that, but it was a shock to me that somebody would steal from me when this, in my mind, can be, created in a unique way to somebody else. Okay, so truly, okay, what this really did for me personally is that I became aware that right here, what I'm doing is very special. So if it's worth stealing, it must be very special. I mean, not that I was, creating like mediocre content and suddenly I became aware that it was great. No, I knew that this was good stuff. Okay, because nobody ever recorded it before and nobody ever will record since. Because I have a very specific point of view on things. But to me, it was ridiculous that somebody would do such a thing. And quite frankly, that was an upgrade for me, okay? I would say an upgrade in understanding, okay? Because when you know what you do, you only know what you do. You don't understand how people view you. And again, of course, I understand it's good. I just didn't realize it was that good, that somebody literally was going to risk jail time, okay, and dealing with FBI and all this shit in order to, make a few bucks. That just like kind of like really, baffled me, okay, for a minute there. But even as far as that is concerned, okay, I realized how much people need this information and how much further I am able to go then, because it very much prompted the creation of the audios, the monthly audios that I discussed in the intro, and going all the way and discussing everything I really want to discuss. But this time around, really kind of like making it a subscription and creating, a higher level material. Because if this, what I have on my channel is so kind of like amazing, well, wait until what you hear in my monthly audios, quite frankly. Okay, so that really opened up my mind in viewing things like some people may view. Not only that, but you know what? I'm really happy that this happened, because I'm always for expansion and upgrading myself. And perhaps this was very much a good situation because, well, for many, many, many different reasons. Like I said in my life, listen, upgrades happen in different ways. So when you're asking for an upgrade, and I'm always asking for an upgrade from the universe, like, go ahead. If you need to send me a challenge, I'm all for it. I just want to continue growing, okay? If I'm not growing, if I don't have some kind of a challenge to overcome, I get fucking bored. That's just me. All right? So now the game is played most efficiently when you know how to overcome things and you know how to handle them. So again, when with Traci, I knew exactly what to do. I knew exactly how to handle this. Okay. At this stage of my game, it's really hard to intimidate me or to scare me or to really, really upset me to my core, because I have very good friends who are lawyers. I'm very friendly with the law enforcement, etc., etc. I have resources. I can literally find out everything I need to find out. In one day, okay? Now, if I'm going to start taking action on it right away, that's a different story. I want to allow the person to turn around and start behaving differently. So I'm always like kind of patient in this and that. I definitely want to be benevolent and, not cause any harm to anybody, okay? But in this case, I knew exactly what to do. I knew exactly how to handle this. I've done it all before. Again, recognized it very early on and stayed for the experience, okay? Just to see this play out just like it's going to play out now, okay? So maybe some people misunderstand what this manifestation was for. It was for an upgrade in my appreciation for what I do here. It was for me personally to essentially maybe teach a lesson to somebody who needed a lesson, okay? Because I think that's also part of it, quite frankly. And not for nothing, but I really derive a lot of pleasure from knowing how to handle things today, whereas before I would have probably fallen apart because of this experience. This time around, it was like clockwork. I knew exactly what to do, like I already said, okay? So I already know how this is going to play out. And so when in the past, you didn't have any kind of like scripts to the situation, you didn't know what to do, etc. When life presents you an opportunity to literally play it, like a violin, this situation, I can't describe to you the feeling of the pleasure. Okay, not for nothing, like I said. Not to mention that now more people know about my channel. And again, I'm not as fixated on like subscribers and this and that. I'm more fixated on the kind of work I do. That's what's truly important to me. That's what I pride myself in doing. But again, a lot of her clients became my clients. So I'm not complaining. Trust me, I'm feeling really good. you know and like I said, I really became aware of how important it is what I do here with all of you guys. Not that I didn't understand that before, but now I'm really putting in like 1,000% instead of like 500 as before. Okay. And also taking this more seriously myself. Whereas before, certain things used to be on the back burner, like writing the book and this and that. Now I'm very much, actively working on it. And you get the front seat with my monthly audios of a lot of stuff that's going to go into my book, or books plural. And eventually I'll publish them. And you'll be so very happy to know that you got the first draft, so to speak. But I mean, listen, audios I think are one of my favorites way to express myself. Obviously, there's loads of them on my channel, because this is how I channel my work. Okay, I don't, when I listen back to myself, I often find a lot of golden nuggets, etc. I do write everything by hand, all the notes, etc. So when I channel, I look at the notes and then I develop the ideas. I don't really take that many notes. Sometimes I do, depending on, the subject and this and that. But most of it happens as I'm talking. So in conclusion, I think you should welcome all experiences into your life that you want to learn from. So if it's a contained way that you want to experience a challenge, a different reality, a different kind of personality, and this, that, and the other, not to say, by the way, that I specifically manifested Traci, to be a narcissist and this and that. I just accept the fact that, there are all kinds of people out there. And I'm totally okay with that. I don't, it does means nothing to me. I think there's a lot to learn from these people as well. Okay. And I think when you can really have the experience without it being, again, illustrative of who you are, or what you're doing in your life, again, provided this is not your personal life, provided this is just, again, a project of some kind, an experience, then it becomes a very contained experience in which you end up learning a lot. Now, if this is a repetitive pattern in your personal life, then it's a different story. And I think I already mentioned that in my lives or in my audios. But to me, it literally represents an opportunity to sharpen my tools as a manifester, to sharpen my tools as a person, okay? Because I think the two need to come together. There's, the mental, the intellectual side of it, okay? And there's also the manifestational side of it. So as you're experiencing something that you're learning from, you're in a way better position to learn from it comfortably if you understand this is not a reflection on you, and if you understand that you can handle it in a way that it is not going to touch you negatively, but you're only going to benefit from it. Okay, and that is the hugest, biggest distinction, okay, between me and most people who think out there, the coaches and the whatever, their followers, who think that if you manifest something unwanted, it's the end of the fucking world and you failed. Like, that's just bullshit. Number one, this is complete denial of reality, as it were, because there's things in life that happen to everybody. I think the pilotage of handling things needs to be addressed, and that's where the fucking gold is, quite frankly. And if you're able to maneuver the situation to your liking whilst learning, you're getting the benefit out of it. And not, are you still human again, and are you going to feel some type of way about it for a moment or two? Abso-fucking-lutely. But again, the challenges don't come if you don't invite them. And I love to learn new things. Again, going back to human psyche, fascinated about it. Okay, deeply fascinated about it, deeply fascinated about doing the right thing. Okay, justice, things like that really matter to me enormously. And so, again, nothing is by chance. I'm not saying that it is, but me manifesting someone like this is for a reason, for a lot of reasons, all good ones, in my opinion. Okay, really entertaining also. Not for nothing. Okay, I enjoy the theatrics of situations, and it's, you understand, like on the surface you can be upset, but if underneath it all you know that you're safe, you know that this is just theater, and you know that everything is going to be in your favor, you're calm on the inside, you're stable as fuck. Okay, versus somebody who doesn't know this and is freaking out the entire time, was working very hard on composing a straight face. That's the difference. And so, again, profoundly, my belief is that, you have to be a human being towards yourself, for one, and not criticize yourself. And when these people, promote this type of thinking, whereas when you manifest something seemingly unwanted, that's the only kind of like trajectory, that's the only outcome that you can expect from it, is completely narrow-minded and fucking stupid. But also thinking that you somehow failed is even more stupid, even more kind of completely, I don't even know, narrow-minded is not even it's the understatement of the century, because the idea is to not bar yourself from experiences that aren't pleasing. The idea is to learn from them, upgrade yourself, and know what to do next time. And when the next time comes around, again, play it like a violin and enjoy it and derive the benefit out of it, and then keep on growing and keep on improving. But the idea that nothing like that will ever happen to you is naive at best and completely unrealistic. So being hard on yourself for for manifesting things into your life is not where it's at. Understanding how you're manifesting it and being able to handle it, or understanding how you manifested it and wanting to change this program you have running right now, that's a different story. But if you're comfortable in attracting once in a while a challenge and learning from it, that's a different point of view. And for me, not to brag again, and I'm going to close with this, manifestation is really easy. Okay, so once in a while, yeah, I want to learn something. I want to learn from a challenge. I want to learn how to talk to FBI agents, okay, for example, over a copyright infringement. Like, that's new to me. Never had to do this, okay? But without Traci, I wouldn't have this experience. Like, I'm not even joking, okay? And never saw my work this valuable, okay, before. Without Traci, I wouldn't have this experience. So all good things, right? But if I didn't have this fucking challenge, this process wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't have learned so much that, listen, honestly, I could give like a fucking seminar on how to protect yourself and what to do and this and that, because nobody gives you this information. Like, you would have to literally, scout yourself for like whatever, a month on end. Nobody gives you this information directly. You're just gonna have to research it yourself. So what she gave me was invaluable. What I created as this manifestation by welcoming certain situations into my life where I can literally just run circles around her, even though it seems like, she did steal things from me. What she really did was fuck herself enormously and stole from herself, really, because in every way, this is a win-win for me. And so, again, for those who don't understand this, probably never will. I don't know. I think some people are just, their mind is made up and they see what they want to see and criticize, because I think they're criticizing themselves, really uncomfortable with themselves, and don't see it, don't see the world in colors. They see it black and white. I see it in colors. And so, and all the colors really serve me, okay, because I know that I'm the golden Buddha. I know everything works in my favor. That's the best explanation I've got. Hopefully, this worked for somebody out there. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.